Dental bridges versus dental implants in 2025. Which one is actually better for you, and why? Recently, there has been a lot of heated discussion in the dental community. Patients often ask why modern professionals are starting to speak negatively about dental bridges, considering they are a treatment that has been taught in dental schools for decades. And that is true. Bridges were the gold standard taught in universities in the year 2000. But we are in 2025. Just as medicine used to teach doctors to treat certain conditions with mercury, or how orthodontics used to rely entirely on heavy headgear that wrapped around the back of the neck, things change. Today, we don't use headgear for every child. We use micro implants and clear aligners. In cardiology, we don't perform open heart surgery for every blockage. We use stents and catheters with minimal invasion. Medicine and dentistry are constantly advancing. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the profession to stay updated. Just because a procedure was the standard 20 years ago doesn't mean it is the best option for your body today. In this video, we are going to break down the truth about replacing a missing tooth by looking at two very specific types of costs. Everyone talks about the economic cost, the money you pay at the front desk. But very few people talk to you about the biological cost, the price your body pays in the long run. First, let's define the scenario. We are strictly talking about what happens when you are missing a single tooth. If you are missing all your teeth, that is a completely different conversation. But for a single missing tooth, you generally have four options. The first, and the least invasive, is the removable prosthesis. You might know this as a flipper, a partial denture, or a plate. It can be made of rigid acrylic or a flexible nylon material often called Valplast. Sometimes they have metal hooks, sometimes they don't. At the end of the day, it is a device you take out and put back in. The main advantage here is economic. It is generally the most affordable option. It fills the gap, and you can smile. However, we have to look at the reality of living with this. It is a foreign body in your mouth. It covers the roof of your mouth or the gums, which changes the way you speak and taste food. But here is the biological cost. Many of these devices rely on hooks that wrap around your other teeth for stability. Over time, the constant pressure of taking this device in and out can act like a slow extraction force on your healthy teeth. Furthermore, if the device rests heavily on your gums, it can push the gum tissue down, causing recession. So, while it saves money up front, it can slowly damage the supporting structures of your remaining healthy teeth. It is an excellent temporary solution, or a solution for when other options aren't possible, but it is rarely the best permanent strategy for a single missing tooth. The second option is the Maryland bridge. This is a very specific type of bridge that consists of a false tooth with little wings on the sides. These wings are bonded or glued to the back of the adjacent teeth. The massive advantage here is that there is little to no drilling required. We don't have to grind down the neighboring teeth. We rely on chemical bonding. This has a very low biological cost because we are preserving your natural tooth structure. However, the Maryland bridge has significant limitations. It relies entirely on the strength of that glue bond. Because of this, it generally cannot be used on back teeth, your molars, where the chewing forces are incredibly high. It would simply pop off. It is mostly reserved for front teeth, and even then, your bite has to be perfect. If your bottom teeth hit the back of your top teeth too hard, there won't be room for the wings, and it will fail. It is a fantastic aesthetic option for the right candidate, but it is not a universal solution. This brings us to the third option, and the most controversial topic in modern dentistry, the traditional dental bridge. For a long time, this was the only fixed way to replace a tooth. The concept is simple engineering. You have a gap. You take the tooth in front of the gap and the tooth behind the gap, and you use them as pillars. To do this, the dentist must cut down and shape those teeth, removing the enamel to fit a crown over them. These two crowns are fused to a fake tooth in the middle, creating a bridge across the gap. This is where the concept of biological cost becomes critical. Imagine you lost a tooth due to an accident, but the two teeth next to it are perfectly healthy. They have no cavities, no fillings, and pristine enamel. To place a bridge, we have to grind away that healthy, precious enamel, the hardest substance in the human body, and reduce those teeth to pegs. We are essentially mutilating two healthy organs to replace one. From a biological standpoint, this is a heavy price to pay. You are turning a one-tooth problem into a three-tooth problem. There is also a misconception that bridges are the cheaper fixed option. Let's look at the math. A bridge is not one unit, it is 3 units. You are paying for 3 crowns. When you add up the lab costs and the professional fees for a 3-unit bridge, the price is often very similar to, or sometimes even more than, a single dental implant. So, the economic argument that bridges are cheap is often false when you compare quality treatments. Furthermore, a bridge is technically very difficult to execute perfectly. The dentist must make the 2 supporting teeth perfectly parallel to each other so the bridge can slide on. If they aren't parallel, the fit won't be precise. If the fit isn't precise, bacteria will leak underneath. And since you cannot floss normally between these teeth, you have to use threaders to go underneath, hygiene becomes difficult. And this brings up a massive hidden issue that most patients ignore until it's too late. Whether you have natural teeth, a bridge, or are preparing for an implant, that hidden bacterial film, the biofilm, is the real enemy. Brushing and flossing often can't reach deep enough, and many standard mouthwashes actually destroy your mouth's natural defense system, making things worse. There is a fascinating new method that is changing how we look at oral health. It involves a strange, red dental foam cleanse that you swirl for just 10 seconds to target that bad biofilm and actually help remineralize your teeth overnight. I highly recommend you see how this works to protect your investment. Scan the QR code right here on the screen with your camera to watch a short presentation on this. I've also pinned the link to that video in the top comment below. Don't let invisible bacteria ruin your dental work. If a bridge fails, it is catastrophic. Because the supporting teeth have been shaved down, if decay gets underneath one of the crowns, you might end up losing the supporting tooth as well. Now, you don't have a gap of 1 tooth. You have a gap of 2 or 3. This is why in 2025 we have moved toward the 4th option, the dental implant. A dental implant is a titanium screw, a cylinder that acts as an artificial root. It is placed directly into the bone where the tooth is missing. Once it heals, we screw a tooth into it. The primary advantage of the implant is that it has a near zero biological cost to the neighboring teeth. We do not touch them. We do not grind them. We do not drill them. They remain independent. If you have a problem with the implant in 20 years, it does not affect your natural teeth. If you have a problem with a natural tooth, it does not affect the implant. This independence is key to long-term health. Additionally, the implant preserves your bone. When you lose a tooth, your body assumes you don't need that bone anymore and begins to dissolve it. This is called resorption. A bridge does not stop this process. An implant, however, stimulates the bone and keeps it there. Now let's address the fears and the downsides. The biggest barrier for patients is usually the word surgery. It sounds intense, but in reality, placing a single implant is often less traumatic than preparing a tooth for a bridge. It is a procedure that, in expert hands, can take 20 to 30 minutes. Most patients report that the recovery is easier than the tooth extraction itself. The second barrier is the perceived failure rate. You might read online that implants fail. The truth is that dental implants have a success rate of around 95% to 98%. That is incredibly high in the medical world. When they do fail, it is usually because they were placed in a patient who was not a good candidate. Patient selection is everything. If a patient has uncontrolled diabetes, is a heavy smoker, takes specific medications like intravenous bisphosphonates for osteoporosis, or has severe untreated gum disease, the risk of failure increases. In those specific systemic cases, a bridge might actually be the safer option. But for a generally healthy individual, the implant is the gold standard. There is also the argument of time. Patients often choose a bridge because they want teeth now. They think a bridge takes 2 weeks, while an implant takes months. This is a partial truth that needs context. If you have a tooth extracted today, You cannot put a final bridge on it next week. You have to wait for the gum and bone to heal and shrink. If you put a bridge on immediately, within 3 months, a gap will open up under the fake tooth as your gums recede, causing food traps and aesthetic issues. To do a bridge correctly after an extraction, you still have to wait about 2 months for the tissue to stabilize. With an implant, the integration process takes about 3 to 4 months. So, in the grand scheme of your life, the difference between waiting 2 months for a bridge and 4 months for an implant is negligible, especially when you consider that the implant could last you the rest of your life without damaging your other teeth. Let's also talk about the economic cost again. Yes, the upfront cost of a single implant might seem high, but if you calculate the lifetime cost, it often wins. A bridge may need to be replaced every 10 to 15 years. Every time you replace it, you lose a little more tooth structure. If you start with a bridge at age 30, you might be buying 3 or 4 bridges over your lifetime, and eventually, you might lose the supporting teeth. The implant is a one-time investment in the foundation. So, how do you decide? If the 2 teeth next to your gap are already heavily filled, have had root canals, or are structurally compromised, then a bridge is a very valid option. You aren't destroying healthy teeth, you are reinforcing damaged ones. In this specific scenario, a bridge makes sense mechanically and biologically. However, if the 2 teeth next to your gap are healthy, virgin, and beautiful, please think twice before letting anyone grind them down. The biological cost of destroying that enamel is something you can never get back. In this case, the implant is the only ethical choice that respects the integrity of your body. Some people worry about the difficulty of the procedure. Paradoxically, doing a truly excellent, well-sealed bridge is technically more demanding for a dentist than placing a single implant in good bone. It requires an artist's eye for parallelism and margins. With modern technology, surgical guides, and 3D imaging, implant placement has become extremely precise and predictable. We must also consider the immediate load concept. In some very specific cases, we can place the implant and put a temporary crown on it the same day. This isn't possible for everyone. The bone has to be perfect. But the technology exists. In contrast, you almost always have to wear a temporary restoration with a bridge while the lab makes the final one. Ultimately, the decision shouldn't be based on fear of surgery or saving a small percentage of money up front. It should be based on a long-term strategy for your mouth. Dentistry is no longer about just fixing what is broken. It is about preservation. Our goal is to keep as much of you as possible. If a treatment requires destroying healthy parts of your body to fix a problem, we must question if there is a better way. In 2025, that better way is almost always the dental implant. If you are currently sitting in a consultation chair and being told that implants don't work or that they are too risky for a healthy person, I strongly encourage you to seek a second opinion. Implants are not experimental. They are the standard of care. We hope this clarifies the differences and helps you make a decision based on logic, biology, and long-term health, rather than just immediate convenience. Don't trade your biological wealth for a quick fix. Your healthy teeth are priceless.